Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Blue Archive reaction. Today we have Luminous Memory. This is one I've seen in comments a lot, and I've just not had something to pair with it. So, given that it was a Patreon request from Bylov, I figured why not just make it its own video, have it stand alone, and see what the hype is about on this one, because it is a recurring title for sure. So, without further ado, let's give it a shot. Let's go! Okay. Very nice, actually. I've heard so much of their electronic stuff recently that starting off acoustic was kind of nice, actually. I know it's going to evolve into a more electronic thing, but the piano was a nice moment. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah. I'm here for that synth. Accents too. Using the piano, just a boop-a-doop. This one is so subdued compared to the other ones I've heard recently. Good texture on the percussion in that part. A lot of good layering to it. I love how they build up like this in Blue Archive music. They really know how to bring it through the paces and evolve. And the outro. I love this piano part. God, that's so uplifting. What a beautiful song. So I should have expected that that one was from Mitsukiyo. Of course it was Mitsukiyo. That is definitely right up Mitsukiyo's alley. How many times can I say Mitsukiyo's name before it starts to not sound like a word? But yeah, the melody was so strong on this one. The piano was just gorgeous. I loved that piano part, both the intro and outro, and then having just the couple of notes be accents during the electronic section. It's just... that's so good, dude. It's so good. And I know I mentioned that synth during the chorus. I loved that synth. There was something so satisfying about it. It was like crunchy, like a good fresh bag of chips, which is a weird comparison, but I think it is pretty apt. There was just something so satisfying about how thin it was, but with the bass underneath it supporting it, it felt more whole, and those two blended really well. I don't know if that's like a preset synth or if Mitsukiyo made that synth themselves, but that is a great synth. Keep using that synth. That is a really nice sound. And of course, as I mentioned, the layering on the percussion, a lot of different samples were being used for the percussive hits, the like snare hits in there. There was like clapping, like a snap sound. It had a little bit of a crunch to the actual snare sample. I'm not sure if they were using a snare sample or if it was just some generally snappy percussive sounds layered on top of each other. That's super common to do in electronic music, layering things together for that snare beat, and that is a beautiful sound. There are some songs that you just hear the snare and you're like, it just doesn't feel right for the song. This is not one of those. This felt so good. All of the instruments, all of the samples, all of the sound blended so well. The piano, like I had already said about it being an accent during the chorus, it added just a little bit of that high end to help kind of support the crack of that snare sample, as well as the higher end crunch of that synth. So it's just the balance of this song is probably the #1 outlier for me. This is a great song balance. And this is basically a standard for Blue Archive music, but the vibes are just immaculate, dude. Every time I hear Blue Archive music, I am in a better mood. It's just something about all of the musicians that work on Blue Archive songs know exactly what to do to make an emotional high feel like no other. There's just something so consistently positive about how they write. I feel like that might be the choice of chords and keys that they usually write in, being major chords and major keys, but there's a little bit of dissonance in some of them too, but they just know how to raise that up and really bring it back to a major head instead of just leaving it minor and sad. So even if they have to take the side track to go over and make some dissonance happen, make a sad moment happen, they always manage to lift you back up by the end, and that's something that all of the composers that work on Blue Archive do so very well, and I really appreciate that as somebody who appreciates upbeat music, uplifting music, positive music like melodic dubstep and such are some of my favorite electronic genres, just because I always feel better after hearing them, and there's something psychological in that. I think that I'm going to stop talking though, because there's probably a chunk in here that I just completely cut out of me rambling more on about the psychology of music and like major chords and whatnot, but I'm not gonna bore you with all of that because it was basically just retreading ground I'd already said, and now I'm starting to do that again. So thank you so very much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see me do more Blue Archive music or any music from anything at all, leave a comment down below of what I should get to and I will do my best. And if you want to follow me and support me and all that, you know how to do that, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!